So apart from its entertainment value, why is Grue relevant to us on this course? Well, we're asking this question, of course, what connection between an observation and a theory makes that observation evidence for the theory? That's the question that we've been asking. And what we saw is that we can connect that question to bits of reasoning by giving this superficial answer. We can say, well, look, the connection is just that the observation has to feature in a piece of inductive or abductive argument for the conclusion that the theory is true. So now we've got a second way of formulating our question. We can ask, what's the relation between the premises and the conclusion of an argument when it's a good inductive argument or a good abductive argument? So now we've got two ways of formulating the question. And Grue is relevant because it tells us that there is a certain thing that we can't give in answer to this question. Let me explain. A lot of the time when people are focusing on Goodman's puzzle, they're focusing on the question, why is the left argument better than the right argument? And indeed, I've encouraged you to focus on that question, and we can answer that question. But that's not the deepest and the most relevant thing that we can get out of Goodman's puzzle. Not at all. There's something much more interesting that this puzzle shows us. Here's the thing. The argument on your left and the argument on your right do not differ with respect to their forms. You can see that because all I've done is take one word and replace it with another word of the same type. There's no funny business going on here. As far as their forms go, these two arguments must have the same form, whatever those forms are. Can't imagine that they're different. But of course, one of these is a better inductive argument than the other. In fact, one of them is a really appallingly terrible piece of inductive argument, and the other is a maybe just about okay argument. That tells us then that whatever it is that makes an inductive argument good or bad, it can't be just the form of the argument. What we've got here, as Peter Godfrey Smith noticed, is a demonstration that being a good or a bad inductive argument isn't purely a matter of your form. And this is valuable to us because in philosophy, it's very rare to have a demonstration. So when it comes to our question, what's the relation between the premises of an abductive or inductive argument and its conclusion? Reflection on Grue tells us we can't characterise that relation in purely formal terms. That's a generalisation of the conclusion we got from thinking about the Hempel's ravens, Aisha's traffic lights argument, and it rules out a very promising, simple approach to answering that question for us. So it's something that's quite valuable.